even spot the one who was out of—
Yeah, him. I know, right? I don't know. It might be like a secret society that time travel somewhere. You never know. I mean, what's good, Joe? It's your boy, Yashay, in the back at y'all with another one. Today, we're gonna be watching top 10 time traveling stories or whatever that proves something about time traveling or whatever. I just saw the title and I was just like, man, I gotta make a video about this. So we're trying to get into the video. And that being said, I would love it if y'all would subscribe to the channel because we trying to make it to 100 subscribers for my birthday or before the next year if we can't make it to my birthday. With that being said, enough of this pussy ass talking shit. Let's get into the video.
A few moments later.
me out. Sir Victor Goddard was a wing commander in 1935 and he was making a trip over to an airbase in Drem, Scotland. Little did he know that this routine trip would change his life forever. As he was flying over the base, he took in the rough condition it was in. The fields were unkept with grass cracking through the tarmac and cattle had begun invading to graze. Then suddenly the weather took a miserable turn and in order to prevent an accident, he decided to make for a landing at the base. But as he got closer and closer to landing, the rain began to let up and the sun broke through the clouds. Suddenly he saw a flurry of mechanics in clean and tidy blue uniforms working diligently on yellow planes. Usually the mechanics at the time formerly wore khaki uniforms, so the blue was a bit of a shock. Additionally, they were working on yellow planes instead of silver. Goddard left shaking his head to remove whatever fever dream he was having, only to revisit the exact moment when he visited the site again 4 years later. He saw the exact same thing, blue uniforms, yellow planes, and had to deal with quite a fierce bit of deja vu. Ever since this story came to light, it's not hard to believe he traveled into the future. Or back in time. Number 9. Greta Thunberg's doppelganger. What doesn't this girl do? First, she takes on the world's global environmental issues, gaining recognition on like every media outlet.
They do say everybody out here got a twin. I don't know, maybe it's like a glitch in the matrix or God said there can only be two. Like your boy Chris Breezy said. I can only make two. Anyway.
And now she may be a time traveler. Social media blew up with the time travel theories when a 19th century photo surfaced that features Greta, or at least someone who looks just like her. It's true, the resemblance is astounding, so is this a case of time traveling, adventures, or just a common gene pool? Well, firstly, the situation of the photo doesn't actually suit Thunberg's environmental initiatives. The photo was taken in 1898, and the 3 children featured in it are sifting for gold, like Greta would ever be seen next to a mine. According to the University of Washington Libraries, the photo was also taken in the Canadian Yukon Territory. Far from Greta. Greta hasn't responded to the fanatics obsessed with the photo, and her silence only feeds the theories. Who knows? Maybe she just has one of those faces, or maybe she was sent back to do more of her research. After all, Greta does seem to prove time and time again that she isn't your average teen. Number 8. A mummy loves some Adidas. Discovering a mummy is a pretty big—
Yeah, I saw this I saw some same shit like this. Like I ain't see this, but I saw something else like it. Because look, check it out. I seen a nigga in the 1970s, no, not 19, the 1780s, wearing Nikes. Like I'm talking about Monarchs. I was like, what the fuck? I see it in that picture, and I was like, nobody else thinking about that. This nigga is wearing Monarchs in the 1700s.
Big deal in itself, but discovering one with some pretty sweet kicks? One of the most unique and oldest pairs of shoes were discovered when a Mongolian mummy was unearthed. Her body was found in the Altai Mountains in Mongolia, and on her feet were a peculiar pair of shoes. They looked like trendy Adidas shoes. Now they aren't actually Adidas, but they do feature the signature striped style of the shoe. After the restoration, it was revealed that they were actually a pair of knee-high boots with a striped black and red pattern. They also featured decorated buckles wheels and leather soles. Our ancient fashionista also carried with her a clutch bag, mirror, comb, a knife, and a saddle with the remains of a horse. So lots to do. Researchers estimate that she died due to a blow to the head. Interesting. I know, this may have taken the wind out of your sails, but considering they appear so similar to today's designs, could it be that she might have gotten her inspiration from a distant traveler?
Nope.
A traveler who sported remarkable striped leather shoes and inspired the 1,000-year-old seamstress?
Yeah.
Number 7. The Philadelphia Survivor. The Philadelphia experiment is perhaps one of the most famous urban legends slash conspiracy theories slash actual historical event. For context, the Philadelphia experiment is an alleged military experiment that was carried out by the US Navy. In 1943, the USS Eldridge allegedly was made invisible and teleported from Pennsylvania to Virginia, either through time or parallel universe. What's the difference really? The story actually originated in 1955 when ex-merchant marine Carl M. Allen claimed to witness the event. He sent a book full of handwritten annotations to prove it, though it might be a hoax. Who knows? Did this actually happen? Who knows? But the movie definitely did, and it did nothing to help the conspiracy theories circling the world. But a man named Alfred—
Why does everything, like, anything that's out of the norm is a conspiracy theory, or urban legend, or it's a fairy tale? I just don't understand. If I'm finna make an example. Don't be on my dick. If a nigga just start flying out of nowhere, like, oh, you're lying, that's a hoax. That's a conspiracy theory. That's an urban legend. The Superman is real. Looking at it.
Alfred Bielek found the film
Why can't shit just be, you know what I'm saying? Why can't there just be stuff out of the ordinary?
incredibly life-changing, as while watching it, he realized who he actually was, the lone survivor of the experiment.
I beg your pardon?
The lone survivor of the experiment.
Yeah,
After seeing the 1988 film, Bielek's memories came flooding back, and he was actually Ed Cameron, and he had been born in 1916. So if this was real, it ticks all the boxes. Parallel universes, time travel, aliens, Philadelphia, science. Number 6, the missing hotel. This one gives me like Howl's Moving Castle vibes. Could be because I watched it recently for like the 12th time, so I don't know. But a building that's there 1 minute and then gone the next, I don't know. A couple traveling Europe had a unique experience, one they will never forget despite history seeming to. This story was featured on a TV series called Strange But True. Two couples headed off to Spain in the 1970s to live their best lives, but time travel wasn't on the itinerary. They were on their way from England, passing through France, when they decided to stop and search for accommodations. Everywhere in Montelimar was packed save one place that was simply labeled hotel. They got a room that was tremendously old-fashioned with no glass in the windows and no phone. But it was the breakfast the next morning that shocked them. The other guests were dressed in like outdated clothing, and their breakfast only came out to 19 francs, like, which was way lower than what they thought. Hey, that's a win. They took tons of pictures of the vintage hotel and planned on returning next time they were in Europe. But the hotel disappeared. When they looked for the hotel again, it was no longer there, and no locals knew what the heck they were talking about. Even eerier, their photographs did not develop, like it had all been a glitch. Number 5, the bridge opening. Next up, we have this picture. See if you can spot the one who is out of—
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know. It might be like a secret society that time travels somewhere. You never know. I mean, they ain't just stop surprising me nowadays. Like, you see, there's pictures of UFOs. Like, there's literally pictures, and y'all still saying we are trying to. They put it on the news. It was literally a metal frame in the sky, and they couldn't find it. I mean, they couldn't figure out what it was. That just surprises me anymore.
Place. Found him? In case you missed it, we are talking about the gent dressed in the all too familiar type of like hipster style. He sticks out like a sore thumb with his thick black glasses, graphic t-shirt, and what looks to be some kind of hooded cardigan. This photo blew up across time travel enthusiast forums, like he's the ultimate hipster. The location of the photo was at the reopening of the Southport Bridge in Goldbridge, British Columbia in 1941. He also looks to be the youngest guy in the photo. Strange considering he would have been enlisted in the Canadian Army at that point. Correct me if I'm wrong. So why is such a young circa 2010 sporting gent standing at the Southport Bridge? Could it be he was sent back to—
Okay, hold on. Alright, Cap, hold on. Let me see something. Let me see the picture. Let me go back to the picture. Look at how Buddy is looking at Buddy, bro. Look at how this nigga with the top hat is looking at Buddy, and look at how she is looking at the people taking the picture. He looked like some kind of expert, right? And he's teaching him how to do it. He's just like, look, you're bringing attention to yourself. You should have wore some old school clothes. Like he knows what's going on. Like this is his job to go back in history and correct shit. He's trying to tell him, hey bro, you don't get fucked up. Now they know we time travel type shit.
If I'm wrong. So why is such a young circa 2010 sporting gent standing at the Southport Bridge? Could it be he was sent back to document the event and was accidentally documented himself? Number 4, Andrew Carlson. This next one is for all my Game Stoppers out there who love that Robin Hood story. I did too. I really did. It sounds like Andrew Carlson pulled a Biff from Back to the Future though. Police arrested the 44-year-old in 2003 when he was somehow able to turn $800 into $350 million over 2 weeks. Like, that's the damn dream, man. Authorities believe
they got mad because this nigga was getting money. That's fucking crazy. They got mad because this man was getting money. And they what? He's cheating our system. Get him out of here!
That he must have had insider help, which according to Andrew wasn't exactly untrue. Andrew told the court that he was actually a time traveler from the year 2256, and that is how he knew. Obviously, who the heck would believe that ridiculous excuse? But wait, it gets weirder. Andrew disappeared without a trace. A month later, a mysterious benefactor paid $1 million buyout to get him out. On April 2nd, Andrew was supposed to meet with his lawyer, but he had entirely disappeared without a trace. No evidence of his existence could be found before the year 2002. Andrew, can you come back and just tell me how you did that? That'd be great, you know? Anyways, number 3, put your phone away. When I go to my next concert, there is one thing I really hope I don't see. People watching like the whole thing through their phones while they're at a live concert. It just bothers me so much. Like maybe do it once to commemorate it, but not the entire time, dude, you know? Someone should have said that to this time traveler in the background of Mike Tyson's 1994 match with Peter McNeely. Check this out. Yup, right in the background is a smartphone.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Obviously, right? I still remember my mom having like a tiny screen dial phone well into like 2001. There was no way what looks to be a Galaxy phone would be around back then. Debunk this photo if you want, but if that is indeed a time traveler who was sent back, dude, time.
I'm telling you, bro, I'm telling you, there's a secret society somewhere and they time traveling. For real, for real. Y'all, hey, let your government tell you what they want to tell you. Alright, you're gonna be left behind. You better start waking up smelling the coffee. This world's not like how they say it is. It ain't, bruh. Got shit going on behind the curtain that you won't know about, because you ain't trying to seek that knowledge.
Time and place. Number 2, the Nazca astronaut. Out of all the items on this list, this is the largest example of time travel in history by sheer size. The Nazca lines are located 250 miles south of Lima, Peru, and feature over 70 massive depictions of animals that can only be seen from the sky. But the one we are talking about is definitely either a sign for aliens or time travel. Among the 70 images, there's a strange humanoid figure that looks remarkably similar to an astronaut. Some of the designs from the geoglyphs measure around 30 miles, and experts have no idea how or why these drawings were created with such precision. The astronaut is the strangest of them all. Kinda looks like not only an astronaut, but it looks like it's waving, you know? Weird. Was this an homage to a strange spaceman?
That's that Anzumaki. What's it called? Aniwaki. That's the motherfucker saying hello. Yeah.
And who came traveling and visited the people of Peru? I personally wouldn't be surprised. And last but not least, Edgar Allan Poe. This last and final one, I have to thank Olivia for like helping me dive down this rabbit hole, because it really is convincing. I'm fully on board. So is she. So here we go. Edgar Allan Poe has to have been a time traveler, or maybe he still is. Either way, he must have had some sixth sense. Okay, so first off, he predicted the future. 46 years after Edgar published his first novel called The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket in 18.
Actually, now that I think, they're not predicting the future. They just, it's either two things that's going on. It's either they are coming back in time. I mean, they are going back in time, or they're getting the books of how time is written. You feel me? Like, most of the shit that's out here has already been set up years before. Most of the government has like technology that's 10 years ahead of ours, 10 years advanced. So when we get it, our shit, they just like, okay, they took this, they took it as good as it's supposed to be, and they run with it. So these authors and these movie directors, they know what's going to happen in the future. That's why they make movies, write books. They used to only write all the new shit that's gonna happen in books. That's why you always see white people, Caucasians advance faster than black people, because they always put the secrets of what's going on next in the books. And as you know, black people aren't reading books. I mean, the ones that do, props to you. But I'm just saying, most of us, we don't like reading books. That's why we so far behind, as in economics wise.
1838, something weird happened. At one point in the book, their ship, Grampus, became stranded without food or water after a mutiny and must resort to desperate measures. The crew draws straws to see who would be sacrificed for sustenance. A boy named Richard Parker lost the deal. 46 years later, in 1884, the exact thing happens, with the exception that the boat was a sinking yacht. 4 men were set adrift and forced to do the same thing, and guess the name of the boy who died! Richard Parker. Example 1. Example 2, 1840. Poe penned the story called The Businessman Who Endures a Violent Life After a Head Injury. He was hit in the head as a young kid, causing an injury to his frontal lobe, which Poe seemed to entirely understand in intricate detail. But the first time behavioral changes caused by this kind of injury were able to be studied didn't come until 1848. An actual neurologist, Eric Altshuler, wrote, and I quote, "There's dozens of symptoms and he knows every single one. There's everything in that story, we've hardly learned anything more. It's so exact that it's just weird, and it's like he had a time machine." Unquote. Point 3. Who is the figure who visits Poe's grave every year and puts a rose on it? Perhaps Poe is coming back to honor a past life. After all, why is a raven like a writing desk? Because Poe wrote on both. And that was our list today. If you could go back.
Hey, with that being said, that's the video. With that being said, that's the video. You ain't welcome nowhere else. You welcome here. And like I said in the intro, this will be in the description down below if you want to watch this over, or if you want to watch any more of their content. This has been from the Amazing Top 10. Join the army. I would Mafia gang, group, family, everything. And with that being said, I'm out.